talk about 5 ways that stress affects the body. Let's get to it. The first one is your cardiovascular system. The second one that we're going to talk about is how stress affects your immune system. And then we're going to consider stress on your digestive system, as well as stress on your mental health, and then lastly, stress on your musculoskeletal system. Now, stress, as we all know, is one that causes the release of some hormones, typically cortisol and adrenaline or epinephrine, or what we call norepinephrine. All right, so when these hormones are released, the effect on the body is that your heart begins to race, what we say heart palpitations begin, as well as your blood pressure eventually going up. Those are mechanisms that the body take in order to run or flee any dangerous situation that may be causing you to be stressed. But the body can't tell whether it is due to some dog chasing you or anything like that. It just knows that it's stressed. And so what happens is these hormones are released, increase your blood pressure, the pumping begins becomes harder, and that eventually gets a toll on your heart. So chronic stress or continuously having your heart racing and your blood pressure increasing eventually may lead to what we call hypertension, and that can lead also to heart attacks as well as strokes. So cardiovascular health becomes affected by stress. People can get heart attacks because of stress. Stress affects your immune system. That's the second thing we want to talk about. And the way it does is that stress decreases, especially chronic stress, decreases your ability to fight diseases because it causes an imbalance in the immune modulating cells, in the cells that you produce to fight off diseases. When you are chronically stressed, all those things, the balance is thrown off, and therefore you are not able to fight diseases as much. You become more prone to infections. If any infection is flying by around the neighborhood or in the community, you are most likely going to get it. Why? Because you are chronically stressed and your immune system is affected negatively. So it reduces your ability to fight diseases. You are always going to be sick. You don't fight pathogens or germs as much as anybody who is not stressed, and therefore you are frequently sick. Most likely you get colds and coughs and all sorts of diseases that are communicable. Stress also affects your digestive system. What stress does is that it also causes, again, because of hormonal release of cortisol and adrenaline, it also causes your body not able to hold on to stuff as much. It goes both ways, whether you are holding on to so long to things that you eat, making you constipated, or because you are stressed, you are also getting diarrhea, you are emptying your bowels too frequently because of stress. And if it's chronic, then obviously it's going to affect your digestive system negatively. So stress does affect your digestive system, especially if it is chronic. Now, if at one time you're going to give a speech and you're stressed and you have diarrhea, that's fine. It's your body's own mechanism of keeping you in check, making sure you are ready. But after that, it should go away. But if you live in constant state of stress and is associated with diarrhea, you don't want that to happen because negatively you are impacting your ability to hold stuff. If you have irritable bowel disease, it becomes worse. Or people with any other inflammatory bowel disease they find it more difficult to control their symptoms because stress is adding to the disease process, making them either all constipated all the time or being in diarrhea all the time. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about on stress affecting your body is your muscle system and your skeletal system. When stress happens chronically over time, you are also going to have problems with your muscles. Your muscles becomes tensed, and it's continuously tense muscles basically may lead to injury if you're not flexible enough because of tension in your neck, stress leading to tension in your neck, stress leading to tension in your shoulders, stress leading to tension in your thighs, wherever it may be. Chronic situations of stress and chronic muscle tension may lead to injury at some point, and if not, may lead to other issues like arthritis, because your muscles may eventually become inflamed. It makes worse those who have arthritis already, or those who have either osteo or rheumatoid arthritis. If you add stress to that, your symptoms are going to be even worse because you're going to be in more pain just because your muscles are always tensed. So that is stress. Also, the way stress affects your body through your musculoskeletal system. Stress effect on your mental health. What happens to your mental health is that eventually you may become anxious because you are stressed by whatever issue is making you stressed. If it's chronically there, you are going to have anxiety disorders. You're going to have depression and major depressive disorders. You're going to have problems, being stable. Mood swings can set in, as well as being irritable. You can be easily irritated. You get angry all the time. You can even get aggression as a result of stress because you are trying to voice out your stress in some form or the other, and it comes through aggression. So people who are stressed can eventually end up with several kinds of mental health issues, but in particular anxiety disorders as well as depression. And then fear also can set in because you are chronically stressed. Other ways that stress can affect your mental health is the problems with concentration, problems being able to focus. You have cognitive impairment issues because you're stressed. Your body, your brain doesn't have the chance to, focus on things that matter. And so you become cognitively impaired. Emotional stability is also another one. You become emotionally labile. You cannot, stick to being one way all the time. You are basically up and low, high and low all the time because you are stressed. And so these are the 5 ways in which stress affects the body. And I thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to check on the video on that side or video on that side. And until we see you again, we say, beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. Thanks for watching.